I'm a parent attorney working in an office that offers multidisciplinary support. I want to spend some time talking to you today about what multidisciplinary parent representation is. But first, I want to tell you a story about my daughter. Do you know how there are some moments that just stay with you forever? This is one of those moments for me. I'm at a picnic in the summertime with some old college friends and their kids. And I see my daughter, who's then 5 years old, struggling at a hose along with another little 5-year-old trying to fill up some water balloons. And I go over and one by one, I help my daughter and her friend fill up a whole bucket full of water balloons. And at that point, the little 5-year-old, assuming that I'm out of earshot, whispers to my daughter, "Your mom is really nice." And my daughter whispers back, "I know. She gets kids out of foster care." So why is that one of those moments for me? Well, on a personal level, there's no one whose opinion of me matters more than my daughter's. But on a larger level, I think my daughter understood something that we often overlook about the value of multidisciplinary parent representation. We get kids safely out of foster care. In the child welfare system, we disagree about so much, but I've never heard someone disagree with me when I say that lengthy, prolonged stays in foster care are bad for kids. So I do help get kids out of foster care, and I do help keep kids out of foster care by preventing unnecessary removal in the first place. But I don't do it alone. I work alongside parents as part of a multidisciplinary team, and that makes all the difference for the families that I'm able to help. What is multidisciplinary parent representation? It's a team approach to parent representation. Parent attorneys are paired with social workers and often peer advocates, people who themselves have lived experience with the child welfare system, to form a team to help the client get to her legal goals. A parent who's been separated from her child is often at the lowest point in her life. She's scared, she's angry, she's traumatized, and she has an awful lot of obstacles to overcome in a very limited amount of time. She doesn't know who to trust or where to begin. Multidisciplinary parent representation offers that parent a team of support that is interdisciplinary, that is intensive, that is non-judgmental, and that owes a duty of loyalty and support only to that client. What does multidisciplinary parent representation look like? Well, it looks like the parent attorney social worker calling the utility company to try to get the gas turned back on so that a child can stay safely at home. Or going with the father to enroll in inpatient treatment so that he can get the help that he needs. Or helping the mother find a parenting program that is actually going to help her meet the needs of her medically fragile child. It looks like a peer advocate going with the father to a case planning meeting so that he can understand what's happening and encouraging him to use his voice to say what he really needs for his family to succeed. It looks like the parent attorney using the court process to challenge unnecessary family separation or to fully illuminate to the court the strengths and the needs of the family. What does multidisciplinary parent representation look like? It looks like a team that the parent can count and trust as she does the most important work of her life. I hope you understand why I think this is good for parents, but I want to be clear. Multidisciplinary representation of parents is good for everyone, especially for kids. Just this year, a study coming out of New York City showed us just how powerful this intervention can be. New York City conducted an interesting experiment. It created several offices that offer multidisciplinary parent representation, pairing attorneys with social workers and often with peer mentors. Some parents in New York got that representation, and other parents got solo attorneys without that kind of support. Anyone who cares about outcomes for kids should pay attention to what the researchers discovered. That children whose parents had multidisciplinary representation spent 4 fewer months in foster care with no cost to child safety. In my own practice, we started keeping data about our outcomes, and what we found is that when we represent a parent, their child goes home twice as quickly, and they're 40% more likely to be placed in kinship than foster care if they have to be separated. We're finding out what my daughter somehow already knew. We get kids out of foster care. Multidisciplinary parent representation is also good for agencies, good for judges, and good for other attorneys in the child welfare system. Our ability to act as translators of this very confusing child welfare system helps our clients better understand what's expected of them. Our ability to cut through red tape means that parents are quickly connected to the services that they need. And our deep understanding of our clients' lives helps everyone make better decisions. Multidisciplinary representation is also cost-effective. In fact, it's better than cost-effective. The New York City study showed us that because multidisciplinary parent representation saves so many foster care days, full implementation of the program would save $40 million a year in New York City alone. Multidisciplinary parent representation is the effective thing to do. It's also the cost-effective thing to do. Most importantly, it's the just thing to do. We know that kids belong with their families, not just any families. Whenever possible, children belong with their own families. We also know that family separation is extraordinarily traumatic, both for children and for parents. In the child welfare system, we say that we want families to succeed, and we say that reunification is our first goal. But parents report feeling profoundly alienated by this system that claims to serve them. And with good reason. We don't always listen to their voices, and sometimes we ignore their needs. Reasonable effort is a box that is checked almost all the time, whether a parent actually got the help that they needed or not. My clients are my heroes. They survive trauma that I can only imagine. They overcome obstacles that I'll never have to overcome. They show the kind of grit and tenacity and determination that I can only dream of possessing. But they don't do it alone. No one does it alone. Today, I'm looking at an extraordinary group of accomplished professionals, and I ask you to consider how much it meant that you had a team of support. How much it meant that someone, anyone, believed in your ability to succeed. This is what multidisciplinary parent representation offers. A belief in each client's ability to succeed and the support that they need to do it. Thank you.